How to rebuild yourself for 2026 success. Hello, everyone. This is Elon Musk speaking, and I want to be crystal clear from the outset. I'm not here to offer gentle encouragement or empty promises that everything will sort itself out. My goal is to jolt you awake, dismantle the barriers you've built around yourself, and reveal the untapped potential that's been dormant inside you all along. True achievement doesn't arrive with a polite invitation. It requires unyielding drive, daring choices, and the grit to press on even when your instincts scream to stop. If you're committed to crafting the destiny you envision, strap in tight. This transformation begins right here, right now, and it hinges entirely on your willingness to step up. Let me pose a provocative question to get your attention. What if the biggest roadblock standing between you and extraordinary success isn't external forces like the market, your upbringing, your job, or your history? It's the current iteration of yourself. And what if the key to thriving in 2026 isn't minor tweaks, but a complete overhaul? Far too many treat personal growth like slapping fresh paint on a rusty vehicle. That's insufficient. You need a total redesign, a revamped power source, a fresh software architecture, and a blueprint scrapped and redrawn from scratch. That's the focus of this talk, strategies to reconstruct yourself for accomplishments that seem out of reach today. I'm not delivering this message to soothe you. I'm here to provoke change. Countless individuals exist as passive observers, hoping fate will deliver a golden ticket. Harsh reality check: rescue isn't coming from any external source. Neither policymakers, nor relatives, nor employers will pull you through, and wisely so, because outsourcing your progress means surrendering your autonomy. The path to owning your tomorrow lies in forging a stronger, more resilient version of you. So, how do you embark on this reconstruction? Let's dissect it step by step. First comes self-examination. You can't renovate a building without pinpointing the weak spots. Demand unflinching honesty from yourself. Which areas of your existence are falling apart? Which routines are eroding your progress? Which anxieties are anchoring you in place? The majority deceive themselves to dodge discomfort, but avoidance is the real adversary. Discomfort signals growth. To dominate in 2026, confront your shortcomings head-on, sans justifications. Draw from my experience at SpaceX. We endured spectacular setbacks, launches that ended in flames, skeptics who mocked us, fortune squandered. Had I prioritized pride over purpose, the company would have folded. Instead, I probed deeper. Where's the flaw? What requires a total redo? We overhauled our engineering, workflows, and perspectives. Apply that rigor to your life. Identify the elements that must be dismantled to make room for superior foundations. With that raw insight in hand, the next phase is crafting a blueprint. Reconstruction demands a destination, otherwise, you're just patching leaks. Many wander aimlessly, merely responding to daily chaos. That's mere endurance, not excellence. To flourish, paint a vivid picture of your 2026 self. Get granular, describe your perfect routine. What emotions dominate your days? What pursuits define your work? Who populates your circle? Commit it to paper. Ambiguity breeds mediocrity. Remember, the horizon favors architects, not idlers. When we set our sights on Mars colonization, doubters dismissed it as folly. Yet our precise goal, establishing humanity as a spacefaring civilization, guided every move. Mirror that precision in your personal blueprint. Shift your inner dialogue from, "What if I stumble?" to, "What legacy am I prepared to pursue?" Your evolved self relies on that resolve. Now, the engine of change, persistent momentum. Ideas alone won't transport you to a transformed reality. You must propel yourself through deeds. Folks often stall in the preparation trap, devouring resources like podcasts and workshops without implementation. Wisdom unapplied is squandered talent. For your rebuild, prioritize steady progress. Initiate with manageable moves, but execute them without fail. Rise with the dawn, purge energy-draining vices, hone a capability that amplifies your worth. Readiness is a myth, it emerges from motion. Here's a pivotal reframe: triumph stems from steadfastness, not sporadic bursts. Overhauling overnight is an illusion. Instead, engineer a framework of incremental daily wins that accumulate exponentially. View your evolution like assembling a spacecraft. No shortcuts with makeshift fixes, you demand precision. Align your behaviors, attitudes, surroundings, and connections to your blueprint. But brace for this. True renewal often requires shedding your former world. Certain ties, acquaintances, kin, patterns, even self-concepts, may not survive the upgrade. If you're unwilling to release them, victory remains elusive. It's agonizing, no doubt, but essential. You can't erect a new structure amid the debris that once toppled you. Embrace solitude if needed. Isolation beats stagnation. On the topic of setbacks, they're not success's foe, they're its bedrock. Icons you revere have crashed more often than you've attempted. During Tesla's near collapse, I invested my final reserves, defying conventional wisdom. The lesson? Setbacks endure only if you surrender. In your reconstruction, anticipate them, invite them as instructors to fortify your resolve. Elevate your fuel sources too. Your mind shapes your trajectory. What you input dictates output. Ditch low-value media, swap idle chatter for tactical insights, pessimism for education. Immerse in texts that stretch your intellect, dialogues with those who've reached your aspirations, and curtail mindless browsing. Treat your psyche like programmable hardware. Load superior algorithms. Don't neglect the hardware, your physical form. Peak performance demands vitality. Fatigue and poor health dull your edge. Integrate movement into your routine, nourish with sustaining fuel rather than comfort escapes, and prioritize restorative rest. Your life's competitor, maintain your chassis accordingly. Feeling daunted? That's intentional. Rebuilding isn't effortless, it's invaluable. The trap of inertia costs more than you realize. Ponder this: if your circumstances remain unchanged through 2028, does that satisfy you? If not, reconstruction is imperative. The core of any rebuild is mental rewiring. Self-undermining narratives, "I'm inadequate, underqualified, unfortunate," are fabrications. The divide between your current and ideal self is merely the narrative you repeat. Rewrite it, from "impossible" to "how." That pivot unlocks unseen pathways. Cultivate tolerance for unease. Safety nets preserve the status quo, but aspirations perish there. Desires await beyond the familiar. When dread arises, advance into it. Resistance heralds expansion. Let discomfort be your constant ally in this rebuild. Cease benchmarking against peers. It's their path, not yours, and you'll always fall short. Measure against your prior self. That's the sole relevant metric. At SpaceX, we gauged progress against our previous flights, not competitors like established agencies. That focus drove perpetual advancement. To ground this in reality, here's a 12-month blueprint for your 2026 transformation. First quarter, assess and purge. Scrutinize your life for fractures. Excise one detrimental pattern. Solidify your target identity. Second quarter, establish core routines. Incorporate fitness, study, and a high-impact skill. Curate uplifting networks. Third quarter, venture boldly. Challenge boundaries, launch an initiative, seek advancement, embrace uncertainty. Fourth quarter, optimize and accelerate. Review outcomes, refine mechanisms, gear up for escalation. This isn't abstract advice, it's a call to deploy. Adhering to it will morph you beyond recognition. As 2026 approaches, innovation surges and sectors realign. Bold visionaries will capitalize, but only those who've reconstructed themselves stand prepared. Don't postpone until a fresh calendar, ignite now. Each postponed day breeds future remorse. In closing, you possess a singular existence, no retries. Will you squander it in timidity, cloaked in rationalizations, seeking approval? Or gaze back in astonishment at your strides? The decision rests with you. Rebuilding demands effort, as does stagnation. Select your challenge. You're equipped for greatness beyond comprehension, but you must claim it. Demolish the obsolete you. construct the one deserving of your boldest dreams. The world honors action, not mere promise. Success is not polite. It does not knock on your door and politely ask to come in. It barges through, demanding courage, persistence, and decisions that make most people tremble. If you are serious about achieving the future you dream of, buckle your seatbelt, because the journey begins right now. And it begins with you. Now let me ask you something that should shake you awake. What if the biggest barrier to your success is not the economy, not your parents, not your boss, not even your past, but you? And what if the path to extraordinary success in 2026 is not simply upgrading the current version of yourself, but tearing it down and rebuilding it from the ground up? Most people treat personal growth like slapping a fresh coat of paint on a rusted car. That won't cut it. You don't just need new paint, you need a new engine, a new design, a new operating system. That's what rebuilding is about. The first step is awareness. You can't rebuild what you refuse to admit is broken. Be brutally honest. Which habits are killing your momentum? Which fears keep you stuck? Which lies are you telling yourself just to feel safe? Most people run from this because the truth is painful. But pain isn't your enemy, denial is. When SpaceX was failing, rockets exploding, money evaporating, and critics laughing, I didn't hide. I dissected the problems and rebuilt the designs. That's what you must do with yourself. Ask, what must I dismantle in order to rebuild stronger? The second step is vision. You cannot build without a blueprint. Too many people drift through life like debris in the wind, reacting instead of creating. That isn't vision, that's survival. Define clearly who you want to be by the end of 2026. Write it down. Don't say, I want success. Be precise. What does your ideal day look like? Who are you surrounded by? What work excites you? A vague dream builds a vague life. A clear vision creates a future. When I said we would make humanity a multiplanetary species, people laughed. But the clarity of that vision guided every decision. You need the same clarity for your life. The third step is relentless action. You cannot think your way into a new life, you must act your way there. Too many people are trapped in the planning stage. They read books, watch videos, attend workshops, but never move. Knowledge without execution is wasted potential. Start small, but start daily. Wake up earlier. Cut toxic distractions. Build a skill that compounds over time. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You will never feel ready. Readiness is built through movement. Let me shift your mindset. Success isn't about explosive intensity, it's about steady consistency. A rocket is not launched by a single spark. It is engineered, piece by piece, with precision and repetition. Rebuilding yourself works the same way. Engineer your habits, design your environment, upgrade your mindset, and align your relationships with your vision. But here's the truth that many fear: you must be willing to outgrow your old life. Some people, some habits, some identities, and even some relationships cannot come with you. If you are unwilling to leave them behind, you are not ready to win. Rebuilding yourself requires courage to stand alone if necessary. And yes, failure will be part of this process. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's the raw material that success is built from. Tesla nearly went bankrupt. I had to invest everything I owned to keep it alive. People called me insane. But failure only becomes permanent when you quit. Expect it. Welcome it. Use it. Every misstep is feedback to build a stronger version of yourself. Another critical step: upgrade your inputs. What you feed your mind is the software of your future. Replace gossip with strategy. Replace distraction with education. Stop flooding your brain with meaningless noise. Read books that challenge you. Surround yourself with people further ahead. Input dictates output. Install better code. And don't forget your body. Mental power relies on physical energy. If you're exhausted, unhealthy, and numb, your brain cannot operate at peak performance. Exercise, eat clean, sleep deeply. Treat your body like the vehicle that carries your mission. Without it, you go nowhere. By now, this might sound overwhelming. Good. Rebuilding isn't meant to be comfortable, it's meant to be transformative. The cost of staying the same is higher than the cost of change. Ask yourself, if nothing shifts in your life over the next 2 years, will you be satisfied? If the answer is no, then you already know the truth. The greatest transformation starts in your mind. The story you tell yourself defines your limits. Stop saying, "I can't." Start asking, "How can I?" That one shift will open more doors than you ever imagined. And remember, growth lives on the other side of discomfort. The comfort zone is where ambition dies. When fear rises, move closer. Resistance is the signal that you're about to grow. Stop comparing yourself to others. This is your race. At SpaceX, we didn't measure ourselves against NASA, we measured ourselves against our last launch. That's how we improved. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Now let's get practical. Here's a 1-year roadmap to rebuild yourself for 2026. Quarter 1, audit your life. Identify the cracks. Eliminate one toxic habit. Create a clear, written vision. Quarter 2, build foundations. Exercise consistently. Read daily. Build a valuable skill. Surround yourself with people who challenge you. Quarter 3. Step into discomfort. Launch the project. Apply for the promotion. Take the risk you've been avoiding. Quarter 4. Refine. Analyze results. Improve systems. Double down on what works. Prepare for the next level. This isn't theory, it's execution. Follow this process, and you won't just improve slightly, you'll emerge as a rebuilt, unrecognizable version of yourself. Opportunities are everywhere. Technology is evolving. Industries are shifting. The bold will win, but only those who have rebuilt themselves will be strong enough to seize what's coming. Don't wait for the new year to start. Start today. Every day you delay is a day you'll regret. So I leave you with this: you have one life. No rewinds. No do-overs. Will you play small, hide behind excuses, and wait for permission? Or will you rebuild yourself into someone capable of shocking even your future self? The choice is yours. Rebuilding is hard, but so is staying stuck. Choose your hard. Tear down the old version of you. Build the one worthy of the future you desire. The world doesn't reward potential, it rewards execution. And now, it's your move.